Hello and welcome back to Pendor. In the previous episode, I'd highly recommend watching it because we did actually just create our own faction, and it was quite it was quite dicey. Let's just say that. Anyway, I'm actually speaking to Anson right now because what I want to do is, of course, this is what we've been building him for this entire time. Obviously, I would have preferred to earn, if you want to be more prepared. Let's just say that if you want to be more prepared, I would highly recommend getting some more Qualis gems, taking more time over becoming, creating your own faction and becoming the king, queen, whatever you want to be, leader of your faction, and instead just remaining a vassal, remaining a mercenary, and just building up your resources, statistics, so on and so forth. Basically just becoming as strong as possible before doing this. That is going to give you the greatest chance of success, because as it is right now, I'm not really having a really good not having a good feeling about this. Let's just say that, because while I do have 167 in army size, look at my weekly cost right now. My weekly cost right now is 26,000, mostly because I have the free company. I obviously hired them. I'm leaving them in Whitestag Castle right now because I actually kind of want to go over here and attempt to attack some... Oh, hello. Ithil Randir is actually helping us out. Oh, that's hilarious that he's going in there. Oh, that is so funny. That guy's going to die. Let's go and actually just help these Noldor real fast. Let's just go and help them. Yeah, but here's the thing. For me personally, if I had a little bit more time, because obviously, let's face it, I'm doing it for a series, right? I'm doing it for a series. If I, had more time off screen, or generally, if I, was just playing this in my free time, I would not have created my own faction right now. And instead, what I would have done is I would have just gone unique spawn hunting. I would have tried to get as many unique spawns as possible captured, or tried to get as many of them captured as possible. It is obviously a pretty time-consuming process. That's probably the reason why, why these things are quite difficult to actually do, but anyway, point is, just get as many Qualis gems as possible. You can level up your own person, your own character. You can get yourself a bunch of elixirs, and then you can just make him into an absolute monster. Now, apart from obviously your own character, you're probably also going to want to level up your companions. And this is actually something that I have seen multiple times, other people that I've talked to over the years. Oh, actually, wait a minute, was that one of mine? No, that wasn't one of mine. Okay, phew. I was a bit worried there for a real quick second. I was worried that I actually lost one of my Noldor rangers. That would have been pretty terrible. Anyway, yeah, as I say, over the years, I've obviously talked to people, viewers and other people that I've, that have played Pendor and I've spoken to. And everyone has a different strategy, right? Everyone has a different strategy about how they are going to approach how to win the game, as it were. How they're going to win Pendor. And obviously, that's a pretty big deal, It's a pretty big deal. And the amount of variety that you have available is actually staggering. And this is kind of the main reason why I am still pretty impressed. Oh, we actually lost that Noldor warrior right there. That was one of my own. That's very sad. Anyway, I'm really impressed with the amount of variety that Warband still has. I'm not so much talking about the base game here, because most of the time the base game doesn't really have too many different ways of approaching a particular problem, or approaching how to completely dominate the world map. But in Pendor, that is a completely different story, because obviously when you're talking about how to dominate the entire area, what do you think of? What do you think of first? Oh, look at that. The defeated lord looks at you hatefully. What's really funny about this is that this guy actually has, as you can see, an upstanding personality. I'm actually really surprised that he is looking at us like that, but there you go. Anyway, his father is Agathon Legatus, actually, hilariously enough. Anyway, I'm just going to let him go because he has a good personality, and we might be able to persuade him to join us at some point in the future. Who knows? Maybe that's going to happen. As you can see, I actually did get a huge amount of food before I did this. Oh, this helmet is actually a lot better than the Noldor helmet that we had before. That's very funny. I'm actually just going to put the Noldor helmet over there, and then we're just going to have some people take the remaining helmets, just so that we can make sure that we're, making the most of them. Anyway, yeah, so obviously over the years I've talked to many people about their various strategies, and there are so many different ways to do it. And some people say that they really, really loved creating their own, their own knighthood order as soon as possible. Other people really, really like getting the rune weapons unlocked as soon as they can. Really, really quickly, so that they can start leveling up their own character, and they can start, actually getting to a high level, right? So there are loads of different ways to do it, because obviously, apart from that, you have the ability to buy these elixirs. You can buy the, I can't remember what the companion thing is called. Is it Dust? Twilight? Dust of Twilight or something like that? I'm actually not entirely sure what it's called, but, the thing that increases your companion's power, basically. So that's the thing that some people do as well, because maybe they aren't confident in their own fighting capabilities. I'm a bit half and half myself, because I'm kind of okay. I kind of feel like I'm not too bad at fighting myself, but at times, well, I basically have to rely on my forces, Most of the time I have to rely on my forces, and, it's just, well, that's just how it is, And so at times I actually would prefer if my companions had more of a big impact, so to speak, than they do. Because, you can see here that the only person I think that is actually dealing significant damage in this particular attack is Lethal Durin. Because, of course, he's Noldor, He's Noldor, so of course he's going to be doing the maximum damage. But that doesn't mean that the other characters that you have in your party are not capable of becoming as strong as he is, right? So that's the kind of thing that some people do. Other people, as I did in this particular series, they buy the elixir, the elixir that increases your weapon proficiency, the elixir that increases your strength, and your general proficiency in pretty much everything. It gives you a bunch of stats and stuff, and yeah, that's a fantastic way of boosting your character early game. Some people, as have mentioned in this very series comment section, they go and they take their first Qualis gem from Rain and they gamble it at the Guildmaster, and they try to get some Noldor troops. I know that there's a possibility of getting like 18 or 20 Noldor troops from gambling at the Guildmaster, just literally straight up, right at the start. Can you imagine? That must be absolutely incredible. I should probably try that next time. I think that sounds pretty fun. But obviously you've got to play very tactically at that point. You have to play very, very carefully, because you really do not want to be in a situation where you're just going to get yourself murdered 6 ways from Sunday, because that's really going to make a huge, huge difference. Anyway, as I say, there are so many different ways that you can approach domination of Pendor, and that's the reason why it's such a classic. It just completely, it just changes the whole game, basically. Obviously the game is very much the same as you would expect it to be. It's Warband, of course, but the amount of different ways that you can approach progression in the mod is staggeringly different, and I think that's amazing. I think that's one of the best things about it, really, because it just provides you with so many different options. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about here, because I think that generally for me, if I was playing this, in my private time, or if I had more time, then I probably would have spent a bit more in, just grinding away, just getting some renown, doing tournaments, getting as much money as I could get my hands on, because as I say, money is a big deal in Pendor, especially when it comes to leveling up your CKO and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit worried about that actually now, because I'm kind of thinking to myself, am I gonna even have enough to be able to level anyone up sufficiently? I can't believe I actually missed so many shots right there. Anyway, I'm actually out of arrows right now, so I'm probably just gonna retreat We do have a Noldor spawn really close by. Yeah, I'm going to lose some renown. I don't know whether I really care about that too much. We're just going to build the ladders once again. We do have the Noldor spawn relatively close by. I'm actually quite surprised that the Empire isn't actually doing anything. I'm really surprised, actually. Anyway, yeah, I will be... oh, let him solve the issue. Yeah, I'm going to let him solve the issue. There we go. The issue has been resolved successfully. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I should probably... I should probably go back and actually train him a little bit. Because as far as I'm aware, you can actually train your steward quite a lot. And he's going to have a much greater chance of being able to solve these issues, you know, relatively easily. But I could be getting that wrong, actually. I could be getting mixed up. Not entirely sure. Well, I guess we're going to see what happens. Anyway, I'm just going to get shot a little bit here. As you might expect. Yeah, great, isn't it? Yeah, if only maybe I can get a couple of kills. Is this actually... Oh, this is actually cover, but it's not really... it's not really going to give me that much cover, is it? So, yeah, I should probably just do this the old-fashioned way and just keep a watch out. Oh, where am I being shot from? Oh, over there. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, well, I should probably just stand here anyway, because most of my forces are just going to absolutely obliterate the opponent. They only have around 300 or so troops, and we've already eliminated around 150, so if we can eliminate another 120 or so, then I'm probably going to give the charge order in. And even if we are going to lose the 20 renown or something like that, I guess that's all right. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it, because I don't think it really makes too much sense, because I'm obviously not actually retreating. I'm just going to go back and get some, you know, get some additional ammunition and what have you. And I mean, you know, that's what a real commander would do in a situation similar to this. And I don't think people writing in the history books are going to be like, oh yeah, this guy retreated to go and get some ammunition. He's obviously not very good a commander. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, yeah, this guy retreated tactically and then came back and conquered the entire thing. And so generally the renown should be increased, if anything, but oh well. Doesn't really matter to me. 20 renown is, as I say, not that much, so should be fine. Oh, nice snipes! Nice snipes, Barney. What? Where are you? Where are you? It seems like he's... oh no, I'm gonna get shot by this guy. Oh no, I took him down. There we go. He was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, actually. Anyway, I think we should probably just tell our forces to charge in anytime soon. We've already eliminated around 100 of them, and we should be pretty good to continue here. I'm actually really surprised that we've been able to do this. I'm wondering whether I should give this to Anson. I'm thinking I might give this to Anson because he's such a good... I don't know, he's such a good companion. We could also make Sir Alistair one of our vassals, because I think he's actually pretty good as well for the job. And then we've already got 2 vassals, and I think that would be pretty useful, maybe? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, we're actually just going to tell our forces to charge in now. As you can see, there's only 26 enemies remaining. Very much hoping I'm not going to get killed by this guy. Oh no. I'm always so paranoid about these thrown weapon users, because you just can't see the thrown weapon coming towards you. It's like a laser beam, you know. If the guy is particularly proficient, you just go, oh, I'm dead, you know. And it happens very quickly. Anyway, that guy's dead as well. Okay, these guys are actually proving themselves to be quite annoying, especially considering they're actually using the sun to blind me. That's very clever, actually. I mean, they're obviously not doing that on purpose, I don't think, but it's quite funny that the sun is there, because obviously, if this was a... Wow, I just got murdered. Anyway, if this was a real situation, then them having the sun at their backs is a perfect strategic maneuver. Obviously, they didn't move the sun, of course. They didn't move the sun into that position, but I think that's it's very lucky, shall we say. It's very lucky for them to have it on their side, because that's exactly what was happening there. I could barely see any of the ranged troops, but I guess what I should have done was I should have just waited my forces to come in. But, you know, I was just kind of hoping that maybe I'd be able to clear out, you know. I'd be able to kill this guy maybe, potentially, and then move on and maybe take out these fellows as well. But, yeah, there's just too many here, as you can see. There was just quite a few there, and I highly doubt I'd be able to avoid everything, unfortunately. So there's that, you know. That kind of thing just tends to happen. It's fine. It's not a big deal. We've won, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. And so we got a grand total of 17 renown right there, which is not even, you know, we're not gaining anything, which is obviously the main problem there, because of course we had to retreat in the first initial, you know, the first initial attack. But it doesn't matter, as I say. It really does not matter, because at the end of the day, what we want is the territory. That is what we want. So hopefully that's going to actually help us out here. Ooh, we've got some really, really nice troops here. Obviously, what I'm mainly looking for are things that can immediately help us. So I'm thinking Empire Heavies here. These guys, maybe? Some of them are not going to be that useful, but we can try and take some of them, and maybe they'll level up in due time, and maybe they'll actually be kind of useful in the end. We'll take some of these as well. We've barely got any other spaces as well. We're just going to move on. There we go. All right, so I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to give this to Anson, and then we'll make Sir Alistair a vassal when we've captured something else, in my opinion. I think that sounds like a... Doesn't that sound like a better idea? I'm actually not entirely sure. No, I'm going to defer appointment of a lord right now, and we're going to go and we're going to... yeah. Can we actually do that right here? Because I've actually forgotten everything about the vassal stuff. So let me actually just have a look. No. We can actually do this right here. This is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to have Sir Alistair look after Shieldstorm Keep. I think that seems like a pretty decent idea. There we go. Let's do that. And Anson should probably get the village, shouldn't he? He should probably get the village. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But what I actually want to do is I would love to be able to do something like this where we take Whitestag, Shieldstorm, and Almera Castle. But I think I remember Almera Castle very vividly being one of the most nightmarish experiences that I have ever seen in regards to a siege. So I am very, very worried about going for that. Let's actually just see what happens though. Maybe we'll be okay. Okay, we got Various Legatus right here. Hey, you want to fight me? You want to fight? You want to fight? You want to fight? Okay, come on then. Let's do this. No, he doesn't want to now. Okay, are you serious? That is so funny. I think he probably would have been absolutely fine to fight me, but... Oh, wow, they've got loads of Noldor here. But it's so sad because I'm not going to be able to rescue any of them because they are all higher level. Oh, and this is a siege tower. Oh, okay. What about Almera Castle then? Because I'm really not wanting to deal with a siege tower right now. That would be absolutely terrible. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, it's going to take 10 hours. Obviously, we don't have Sir Alistair with us anymore, and he is the one that actually had 5 in engineering. So, of course, until Leslie levels up, we're not going to be able to build things as quickly, but I don't think it's really going to make too much difference. Okay, so let's go in. I think this is the one I was... Aha, yep. Okay, so this is the one that I was actually referring to beforehand. Have they changed this? I don't think they have, actually. I don't think they've changed this. So if they haven't, this is going to be really... Have they? I don't know. I know that the creators of Pendor don't really appreciate, shall we say, cheesiness, if you know what I mean. They don't really appreciate that kind of stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of times in the past when I was doing some tests. You know how I like to be. Sometimes I like to test out some stuff. Yeah, you know, in Bannerlord as well, I do that where I make multiple saves so that I can go through a particular scenario just to see what would have happened. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like to do that. I like to see the alternate version of what would transpire. And I used to do a lot of that with Warband as well. And some of the time, if I would use a particular strategy that was a little bit on the fringe of being like, oh yeah, maybe this is a bit too cheap, you know? And then later on it would get changed in some version or another. I wasn't even talking about Pendor here, I'm just talking about in general. And yeah, so those are the kinds of things that can happen, and I was wondering whether they had actually changed this, because I think this is actually a base game thing. I think this is actually a base game siege, but obviously if you take a look at what's actually going on here, you can see exactly the reason why it is so strong. But I think it might have actually been changed somewhat. It seems, I think it has been changed to be further away from the castle, but I could be wrong about that. As I say, I personally remember this castle being closer to this hill. That's what I remember. But maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Maybe there is a little bit of misremembering on my part. I'm going to try and get a couple of kills from here. Oh, wow. I am actually hitting someone. Oh, I actually hit someone? Can you believe it? What? Okay, hello. All right, thank you. That is exactly what we need. Can I get a little bit more of that, though, please? Can I get some more of that? Yeah, now, obviously, the main thing that you would really ideally want in this situation is you would want Noldor. That's it. You would want Noldor in this situation, because they are just absolutely laser-guided snipers, basically, and they will just murder everything from range. We're actually getting pretty lucky with the fact that most of our forces actually do have some pretty decent range skills, and you can see here that we're actually not doing too badly in regards to eliminating a bunch. But yeah, obviously the main reason why I want to do all of these castles is just so that I can get a relatively easy amount of vassals created. And the vassals that I currently do have are going to get reinforced, because the more castles and so on and so forth I can give them, then the better. Because then they're going to have more ways to replenish themselves, and you know, they're going to obviously have, hopefully at least have larger armies. I can only hope that they would have larger armies, but yeah, as you can see, we've eliminated 76 out of the total, I don't even know, 300 or so. This is going to be a little bit dicey. I'm not entirely sure if I really want to... You know what I'm talking about right now. Yes, retreat. Because here's the thing, if I retreat multiple times, we're going to lose almost 100 renown by doing that, which is going to be very costly for me. I'm not sure if I really want to do that. That's the problem here. That is the problem here for this particular situation. Don't know whether we can actually handle the loss of renown. Maybe it's gonna be okay. Maybe it will be fine. I'm actually just gonna stop zooming in. Maybe that's gonna be helping me to get a couple of headshots here. No? Really not? Ah, there we go. We actually hit someone. Fantastic. Look at that. Nice. Yep, we've taken out that guy. Oh yeah, there are so many crossbowmen over there as well. These are the ones that are actually going to be dealing damage to me. Okay, there we go. They managed to avoid the rest. Unfortunate. Okay, so I was kind of hoping to get around 100 kills, because if we do this twice, then we've lost 40 renown. I don't even know how much we were going to get for this. Yeah, I guess we'll just retreat now. And yeah, we're obviously going to lose that. Oh yeah, someone actually... my controversy has increased. Yeah, of course it has. Okay, so as you can see, we have 200 remaining. Now here's the thing. What I'm primarily hoping we can do is just literally, very simply, just eliminate the crossbowmen. That's it. Just eliminate the crossbowmen, because if we do that, we are then going to have a very easy time of going into the courtyard of the actual castle and then having no issues whatsoever in ascending the ladders. Because the main problem with it, and you've guessed it, are the ranged troops. They're just going to absolutely shred you. If you're on the ladder and they are 360 degrees all around you on the battlements, they are just going to rain down death, and it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. But yeah, okay, so someone actually wanted to see my stats, actually, and I forgot to show you, so I apologize for that. Anyway, this is my character renown right now, this is my honor rating, and my right to rule is here. So as you can see, we've won 4 Noldor tournaments. I have 0 noble recruits, as you can tell. We have 40 right to rule, and that's pretty much it. So there you go. I don't know whether this is actually good enough, because here's the thing. If you actually become a vassal, and this is something that you may not know, maybe you do, maybe you don't know it, but if you become a vassal and your faction that you're a part of makes peace, you gain right to rule for that. And so that's really good, actually. That is really, really good, because if you can gain right to rule, and what I'm actually going to do right here is I'm actually going to tell my people to hold fire, because I think they're wasting ammunition right now. So I'd like to just have them hold fire and then move all the way up here, and then they can just fire off all their ammunition at the top of the hill. Anyway, so yeah, obviously if you become a vassal, which I didn't have the opportunity to do, I mean, I think I did early on, but I decided not to become a vassal with the FIEFS vein. But factions in Warband are much more likely to declare war. At least that's what I've seen so far. It seems like they are quite a bit more free with their diplomatic opinions and situations that they want to get themselves in. And so that means that you're probably going to be gaining at least, I'd say, 9 to 15, dependent on how long you spend in the faction, of course, 9 to 15 right to rule in not a very long period of time. And you're going to obviously become a vassal in that time as well. I mean, obviously you're going to be a vassal in that time, and you're going to be able to participate in all the battles that you could want, and maybe you'll become a marshal of the faction. And if you do become a marshal of a faction, you're going to be able to farm Qualis gems just that much easier as well. As I was talking about earlier, there are so many different ways to progress, and some people I've talked to in the past said to me very specifically, just become a vassal really early on. If you become a vassal really early on, and then you earn a lot of relation with the various lords by doing tasks for them and so on and so forth, and then eventually become marshal because you have a good relation with your, well, entire faction, you can then run around with a huge contingent of units, and they're going to follow you into battle basically anywhere you want. So if you want to fight unique spawn A, unique spawn B, C, D, E, and, well, the rest of them, they're going to follow you into that battle, and you're probably going to be able to win just because you have, you know, almost 1,000 troops or something like that. So this is a really, really good strategy to go for if you want to focus on getting Qualis gems and you don't really care too much about money, even though money is something that you can also get from unique spawns. As far as I'm aware, they do have the ability to give you, I think, raw cash, or it could have been replaced with the pouches of diamonds now. I think it has been replaced with diamonds. Because in the past, they would give you, I think, 100,000 gold. Am I wrong about that? I'm actually not entirely sure. I seem to remember that they would give you 100,000 gold instead of a Qualis gem. And then they would, you know, go away. But yeah, that's another strategy at the very least. You know, if you become a vassal and do all of that, there's quite a lot of time investment, obviously, you know, running around doing a bunch of tasks and all that stuff. Then that's obviously really, you know, it's a lot to do. But in the end, you're then going to basically be able to just, you know, go into any battle with a unique spawn as the marshal of a faction, and you're going to be able to farm Qualis gems relatively easily, and you don't have to worry about, you know, your own forces or anything like that. You can basically just, you know, chill, because you're then going to have, you know, an unlimited supply of Qualis gems, or at the very least you would hope that you'd have a very, very large amount. And, you know, so there's that, you know, so there is another strategy as well. So there's a huge amount of different ways, as I say. And do you think I can actually hit someone from here? For some reason I'm having some huge issues doing that. It's probably because these guys are all holding right click. They are literally all holding their shields up. So that is very, very sad for me, isn't it? Do I want to go in there? I probably do. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Okay, well, I kind of would like to get a little bit more proficiency, but apparently their shields are just so impenetrable. Not entirely sure why that is, but we've eliminated 90 of them, and we know for a fact that they only have another 100. So I'm thinking, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's go for it, shall we? They only have 2 ladders up, by the way. We only have 2 ladders up, so it's going to be pretty harsh for us. But we're just going to tell our forces to charge in now. And we're going to see how we do. Maybe it's going to go okay. Maybe it's going to go terribly. But I think this is probably the best chance we have of me not losing another 20 renown. Because if we can win this particular round, I will gain 27 renown, and that means that I would have gained 7 in total, which is, I suppose, decent. Because then I'm not losing. You know, I'm not losing renown. I don't really care about renown that much, I don't think. I'm thinking right now that renown is... I'm thinking of it more like an investment, because obviously if you think about, you know, you're gaining a fief, you know what I mean? You're gaining a fief, you're gaining territory control, and that's pretty useful in my opinion. So, you know, thinking of renown as an expense is probably a good way to go about it. I'm actually getting absolutely wrecked by their thrown weapons and their crossbowmen. Oh wow, they actually still have crossbowmen? I'm really, really surprised about that. As you can see, they still have some Empire armored crossbowmen, which is actually really bad for us. I may in fact have to retreat. Yeah, they also have a bunch of thrown weapons as well, and the thrown weapons are of course going to be causing us some great damage. So that's actually a bit sad as well. I'm very surprised actually that a bunch of these armored crossbowmen are still alive. Look at them, there's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know. Yeah, there's a bunch there. And I'm not really liking that, actually, all things considered. And there's actually one behind us up there as well. I was actually wanting to switch to my bow. That's what I was actually attempting to do when I was over here. I look hilarious, by the way, on the floor there. And I actually wanted to kill this guy. Oh, thankfully someone actually took him down. Finally. And what's really amusing is only one person is using this ladder on the side here. Not entirely sure why it's taking so long for someone else to go up there, but Lethal Diren is the only one that's going up there, funnily enough. Or, oh no, it's just a Noldor warrior. Oh, that's funny. Okay, hopefully the Noldor warrior isn't going to die. Please don't die, Noldor warrior. I would very much appreciate it if you would stay alive and level up into an amazing Noldor ranger. That would be the best course of action for you, please. Thank you. I don't know whether he's going to, but we can only hope, eh? We can only hope. Anyway, that seems to be a victory for us. And we did lose 6 units, which is really not that much, but obviously we are indeed using a strategy that is a little bit, you know, if you're not a big fan of those kinds of strategies, then I understand. You know, you don't have to like the strategy, of course. You don't have to use the strategy if you'd prefer. I mean, you can pick up Warband when it's on sale for a very cheap price, and obviously Pendor is free to download, so you can just go straight on in here, and you can play it however you like. But I gotta say, let me just warn you, if you go into this fief with a full contingent of enemies, just be prepared to get absolutely obliterated. It has happened to me multiple times in the past as well, so, you know, just bear in mind that it is a very, very punishing fief, unless you use the strategy that I just used there. But anyway, we're just going to move on, not really caring too much about the loot. What else do we have? Oh, Singalian Temptresses, thank you very much. Okay, I definitely wasn't expecting to find something of such quality there, but alright, that sounds great. Let's get some Singalian Horsemen, I guess. They're not that amazing, but I will take them nevertheless, just because. And we'll take some of these guys as well. Alright, so we're going to give this to Anson, because of course we are. He is without a castle at the moment, and Alistair has one, so it makes sense. And as you can see, it's already been garrisoned with things, so I'm actually very happy about that. Okay, so what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to take Wolven Castle. So the best way I can do that is to call for a campaign. I could potentially do that. Oh, hello, Empire Immortals. Okay, wow. I'm actually very surprised that to see these guys. I'm actually not entirely sure. Why have they just spawned here? Noldor, help me out here. Yes, attack them. Kill them all, please. I can best bet that the Noldor are just going to absolutely shred these guys. I mean, they should theoretically shred them like no one's business, because the Empire Immortals, as far as I'm aware, they don't have shields. Is that something that I'm remembering correctly? I don't think so, actually. Maybe they do have shields. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, fact is, we've got every single thing that we could want built here. We obviously have a garrison, but the garrison is pretty terrible. So I'm just going to place a bunch of troops in here, just to kind of make it a little bit more unpleasant, shall we say, for the opponent to besiege. And I am going to need to go over to the old ruins and actually get some troops out of there. But I have to be careful because I really don't want to leave White Stag Castle undefended. I have to be very, very careful now because any of these fiefs that we've taken could come under siege super, super easily. So I'm kind of wanting to be a bit careful of those. Okay, so let's just get a bunch of higher tier troops here. Get some of these guys. Yeah, I'm just going to try and make this as difficult as possible for anyone that wants to try and capture it. Did I actually place some things in with the blacksmith here? I think I did, right? Isn't there something? Yeah. Noldor Archer Garb with cape. Okay, thanks very much. And what about the horse? I think I put a horse in here? No, I didn't. Okay. So I didn't put a horse in there. Okay, that's kind of weird. Alright, I seem to recall that there was a horse in there, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so as you can see, this is... Ow, I just hit my hand on my table. That's great. Anyway, Noldor Archer Garb with cape, and then full plate armor. You can see the differences here. Basically, it's not as good. It's not as good. I'm actually very surprised. I would have expected it to be a lot better after we repaired it, but apparently not. Very surprising. Anyway, let's go into the campmaster here because I actually kind of want to access the vault. As you can see, we got a bunch of stuff here. I may very want to, you know what? I might want to take the various loot because you can get a baggage train for that. So it might actually make sense. So I'm not going to take all of it. I've already got 2 pieces of various loot, so I don't need to have any more. Because I think you can only get 1 baggage train at any one time. I could be wrong about that, but I think so. Ah, Shieldstorm Keep has a large army of enemies nearby. Okay, good to know. What's this? 6 refugees? Are you serious? She's being funny now, isn't she? Because we needed refugees a bunch of time ago, and now she's giving me them. That's always the way, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just going to sell the wine here. Actually, wait a minute. Wine is necessary, isn't it? I think we need wine for something. I seem to recall that we need wine for something. Oh, I should have actually put the crowns in there, to be honest. That probably would have made more sense, shouldn't it? Oh, well, never mind. Okay, let's go into the tavern. I need to speak to the tavern keeper. Yeah, hello there, sir. I am looking for supplies. There we go. Baggage train uses 2 times various loot. There we go. We got the baggage train. Now, basically what this does is it just gives you a huge amount of party morale. That's it. That's literally all it does. It just gives you massive amounts of party morale. And we are just going to buy some honey and some other supplies here just to make sure that we have enough food to go around. And then we're going to go to Shieldstorm Keep because obviously that it seems to be the thing that is going to be attacked. Ah, Marius Imperator is attempting... Ooh, wait a minute. We might have something going on there. Okay, wait a minute. Let's have a look. Yep. Hello. There's a massive, massive army over here. All right. Come on, guys. You want to fight? You want to fight? Come on, then. Come on, then. I am more than prepared. Oh, hello. Unique spawn time. Come on, follow me. Follow me. Let's do battle. He doesn't want to. 100%. Oh, is he? He might. We might be able to get him. We might be able to get him if I can just drag him away a little bit more. Just a little bit. Ah, no. It seems like his other friends are coming along now. Oh, that's really sad. I really badly wanted to get him, actually. Oh, well, never mind. I'm just going to say that I'm going to return shortly, and we're just going to go back in here. And then we can just place some forces in here. And there we have it. What else can we put in there? We can just put these guys in there as well. Okay, yeah, so what we want to do is we actually want to go and speak to the steward because we do want to train him. As far as I'm aware, it takes 3 hours to train him or something. It might not be a good idea for me to do that right now, actually, but... oh, can we not do that? Huh. Okay. Okay, that is actually kind of strange. I actually thought that we could come back here and see what the problem is, but apparently not. Okay. Well... that is going to be it for this episode. We'll see what happens with the Empire in the next one. Hopefully we'll be okay. I mean, we got Mr. Mr. A.L. Darian around here, so we're probably going to be okay, but we'll see. Because it could very well be that this guy's just going to go away, and then we're going to be in a bit of spot of bother. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.